Jesse Orosco Bradley Japp Reuters Houston. The thing we all overlooked, of course, is the fact that Houston's playoff baseball history is a torturous mess. But that's actually a part of it. When you think of tortured baseball cities, which ones come to mind? Cleveland. Chicago, based on 108 years of muscle memory. Boston, based on overstuffed library shelves filled with curseologies. Washington is the new child star of baseball torture, thanks to the Nationals' repeated inability to get past the first round of the playoffs, thanks to the city having waited since 1933 to see the inside of a World Series, since 1924 to actually win one. Nobody outside of Houston, anyway, ever talks about Houston belonging in that mix, which, when you think about it, actually adds to the torture. Millions of neutral folks adopted the Red Sox temporarily through the years, and the Cubs. Many planned to do the same with the Indians. But where is the groundswell to help out the Astros? Do you people not know what they've endured since 1962? Forget that they're partners in that 62 expansion. The Mets have won 2 championships and appeared in 5 World Series since the clubs entered the National League together, while the Astros have only the 2005 NI flag to show for their first 55 years. That places them third behind the Indians and the Rangers, born in 1961 as the replacement Senators on the current list of teams entitled Droughts. That's bad enough. Worse is the way they've lost. Over and over and over. Start with 1980, bad enough. They blew a 3-game lead in the NL West with 3 games to go when the Dodgers swept them at Dodger Stadium. They survived when they won a 1-game playoff. But in the playoffs, up 21 in games, they lost a thrilling 10-inning game to the Phillies. Then, in Game 5 at the Astrodome, with Nolan Ryan up 52 and needing 6 outs, he instead surrendered 5 eighth-inning runs. The Astros actually tied the game 77, then dropped a second straight 10-inning gut-cruncher to lose 87. Head to 1981, the strike created NLDS playoff with the Dodgers, in which the Astros cruised to 2 straight opening wins at the Dome, before getting manhandled 3 straight by the Dodgers, the first time ever that a team lost a 5-game series after holding a 20 lead. Hey, someone had to be first. The Mets, celebrating in the Astrodome after winning in the 16th inning in 1986, up cruise to 1986 Game 6, Astros lead the Mets 30, Bob Nepper in cruise control, fixing to hand the ball to Mike Scott for Game 7, the Dome as loud as it ever was. The Mets score once, twice, thrice to tie in the 9th, go up 43 in the 14th, Billy Hatcher ties it off Jesse Orosco in the bottom half, Mets go back up 74 in the 16th, Astros score 2 and have the tying and winning runs on base when Orosco whiffs Kevin Base with a wicked slider. Some call it the greatest game ever played. Most of those people in New York. Skip ahead in time, the Astros assembling some nice teams that were always routinely disassembled by the Braves in the division series 3 times in 5 years, the Padres also dealing them an upset blow. They finally won a playoff series over Atlanta in 2004, lost an epic 7-game NLCS to the Cardinals, won another NLDS against the Braves in 2005 and then stood 1 out away from qualifying for their first World Series against the Cardinals. Bradley on the mound. He allowed a single and a walk, and then Albert Pujols launched a rocket that might have landed in El Paso if Minute Maid Park weren't enclosed. Sometimes people forget, the Astros rallied to win Game 6 in St. Louis before losing to the White Sox in the World Series. They don't forget that here. They can't afford to, especially since, after a 10-year playoff drought, the Astros were 6 outs away from eliminating the Royals in the 2005 ALDS Game 4, up 62 in the 8th inning. But 5 straight singles and an error to start the inning vaulted the Royals back. They cruised 96, then dominated Game 5, 72. So the Astros may have seemed a little shell-shocked after their nightmare road trip to New York. Their fans not so much. They know the terrain well.